So these are probably the most difficult transfer that most people deal with in chairs. As you see what I'm doing, I've positioned my feet off to the side. My brakes are locked on my chair and I'm on the edge of my seat. And I've got both hands kind of on the front frame of my chair, favoring the left side so I can kind of create a bit of an angle. And I'm leaning over my knees as much as possible so that all of the weight is on the balls of my feet, so that as I'm starting to come down, they're actually holding me up until I eventually rock back and release and fall onto the ground. When it's time to get back in your chair, I've got my feet positioned like so in front of me. The leg strap is going to be positioned all the way at the top of my chair, and that way it's not in the way. I'll put my bottom on my foot plate, and then my left hand is going to go at the top of my frame, right hand at the bottom by the wheel. And I'm going to use that left hand as leverage to pull myself up and allow me to adjust that right hand so that I can get up enough to finally pull myself all the way up top. And that is pretty much it. So for this next on-level transfer, I've got my brakes locked, armrest is swung out of the way to create space, and I'm positioning my body and feet kind of on the edge of my foot plate and seat again. Very important as you're doing these that you keep your head and body over your knees, so that way you're not falling back. I actually didn't, and you can see me fall back a little bit before grabbing my chair to pull myself forward. Always important to have preventative measures if your transfer doesn't work how you intended. So when getting back into my chair, I'm going to close the space and get as close to my chair as possible first. And then you'll see I'm pushing down with my right arm, not away, but down, and using my left arm to push me over into the chair. Using my legs to kind of guide me a little bit before putting them back into the chair and closing the transfer. So this is kind of just a bonus to give you guys another understanding of how I transfer to and from equipment. Again, utilizing what's around you to kind of help you guide the transfer. For this one, it's kind of awkward because there's stuff around me. And instead of pushing straight down because I have the seat to sit on and that would be in the way, I actually utilize the backrest of the machine to help me guide the transfer. And then once I'm on it, you can see I'll reposition my legs and chair, kind of holding on to the equipment around me. Getting back in is no different than how you got back in before with the on-level transfer. Lock the brakes, push straight down as best as you can. This one I actually pushed over a little bit, which you want to try to avoid. But then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is arguably the most difficult vehicle for people in wheelchairs to get into. This is a giant lifted truck that I'm using from my friend. And what you'll see me do to set up here is I'm going to get on the edge of my seat like I've done with my other transfers. I'm going to position my legs. My left leg is going to go on the inside of the vehicle. And then I'm going to use my right arm to grab the handle in the doorway. And the left arm is going to position on the top of his seat. And then simultaneously, as I'm pulling myself forward with my right hand, I'm going to be using my left to pull myself in and pushing up. And then I'm going to kind of shimmy once I'm up there, my butt into the seat and use the roof of the truck to kind of help guide the rest of the transfer. You will see me pause when I take my hand off of the handle. All of my weight is on my left hand temporarily for a second. So it is very important that you have someone to guide you if you've never done this before, to make sure you have the balance to be able to do that first. Getting out is also equally difficult. You'll see me shimmy onto the edge of the seat as much as possible. My right leg is going to be out, again, to help guide. And then I'm going to use my left hand on the handle of his truck, and the right hand is going to go on the armrest of the right side of my chair. Trying to not push out, but push down. I'm going to kind of shimmy over, and then last minute, take my left hand off of the handle and onto the seat to help close the rest of the transfer.